Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar with the news at 9. The headlines. Cabinet revises guidelines for uplinking and downlinking of television channels in India. Election Commission of India begins special summary revision of the voters list. Finance Ministry finalizes framework for green bonds to attract investment in environmentally sustainable and climate-suitable projects. Justice Dhananjay Yashwant Chandrachud takes oath as the new Chief Justice of India. And in cricket, in ICC T20 World Cup, Pakistan beat New Zealand to reach the finals, India to clash with England in the second semi-final tomorrow. And now the news in detail. The government has revised the guidelines for uplinking and downlinking of television channels in India. Briefing media in New Delhi today, Information and Broadcasting Secretary Apurva Chandra said the new guidelines will ensure ease of compliance for permit holders of TV channels and promote ease of doing business by simplifying rules and procedures. He said a new provision has been added in the new guidelines to encourage the channels to broadcast content related to public service and national interests, including agriculture, women empowerment and education.
किसी चैनल को एसडी से एचडी करना है या अपनी लैंग्वेज बदलनी है तो इसको हमने सुचारू कर दिया। यहाँ परमिशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है। लाइव जैसे टेलीकास्ट कई चैनल्स करते हैं उसको हमारे यहाँ आके परमिशन की जरूरत नहीं, केवल रजिस्ट्रेशन से ही काम चल जाएगा। लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी कंपनीज है उनको हमने अलाउ किया है। 30 मिनट का जो कि नेशनल इंपॉर्टेंस या नेशनल इंटरेस्ट की चीजें हों उसमें 7-8 हमने जो है थीम्स दिए हैं, चाहे वो वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट हो सकता है, एग्रीकल्चर हो सकता है, शिक्षण हो सकता है, पर इस तरह के थीम्स के ऊपर भी लोगों को वो अपने कार्यक्रम दिखाएं।
In the revised guidelines, the requirement for seeking permission for live telecasts of events has been done away with. Now the prior registration of events to be telecast live would be necessary. Limited liability partnership entities can also seek permission for TV channels. LLP and companies would be allowed to uplink foreign channels from Indian teleports, which would create employment opportunities and make the country a teleport hub for other countries. Specific timelines have been proposed for grant for permission. A news agency can get permission for a 5-year period as against 1 year at present. A composite set of guidelines has replaced 2 separate guidelines. Penalties have been rationalized and separate nature of penalties have been proposed for different types of contraventions as against uniform penalty at present. Home Minister Amit Shah has said that in the last 8 years, the government has strengthened the internal security of the country. Mr. Shah was interacting with officials of the Intelligence Bureau in New Delhi today. He said the Intelligence Bureau has made a very important contribution in maintaining peace in the country since independence. The Home Minister stressed on the need to further strengthen the process of information sharing and enhancing cooperation between counter-terrorism and anti-drug agencies of the states. He said there is a need to dismantle the financial and logistical support system of left-wing extremism. Mr. Shah added that India have to make maximum use of anti-drone technology to stop smuggling of drugs from across the border. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has commended the Indian Army for maintaining a high operational readiness towards ensuring security and national sovereignty. Mr. Singh highlighted the stellar role played by the Army in guarding the borders and fighting terrorism, apart from providing assistance to the civil administration. The minister was interacting with senior leadership of the Indian Army at Army Commanders Conference in New Delhi today. The 5-day Army Commanders Conference is being held in New Delhi. The Election Commission of India launched the nationwide special summary revision today. A series of voter awareness activities were organized by the Commission in Pune. Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar appealed to the urban voters, especially the youth, to get registered, vote and participate in the election. Noticing high urban apathy and low young voters' participation in Pune, the Election Commission participated in the Voter Awareness Cycle Rally in the city to motivate and mobilize the youth and society at large for proactive participation in the election process.
Every section, every geography, we go to forests. We go and register even if there is one boat in the village. That's the value of a boat. So when we spend a whole lot of time on social media, the youth in particular, this is equally important that the democratic ethos, democratic values get ingrained into your mind. All our efforts now are, amongst other things, is to address the apathy of the young voters in terms of registration and in terms of their voting. So please get yourself a registration and also encourage the ethical voting, which means issue-based voting.
Earlier, members of the transgender community interacted with the officials from the Commission in another program in Pune. One of the transgender, Dr. Sanvi Jetwani, spoke to AIR about the challenges faced by the community while registering for voting.
ऐसे ट्रांसजेंडर जब मेरे डॉक्यूमेंट बनाने गई थी तो मुझे 6 से 7 महीने एक डॉक्यूमेंट के लिए लग रहा था या फिर बहुत सारा दिक्कत आता है क्योंकि हमारे आधे ट्रांसजेंडर्स घर से निकाले जाते हैं, उनके पास कोई डॉक्यूमेंट प्रूफ नहीं होते, तो ऐसे प्रावधान बहुत कम थे जो अभी धीरे धीरे होने लगे। अब मेरे जैसे कुछ ट्रांसजेंडर्स हैं जो इलेक्शन लड़ना चाहते हैं, अपने कम्युनिटी का प्रतिनिधित्व देश लेवल पर लेके जाना चाहते हैं, इसीलिए आज की कॉन्फ्रेंस से मुझे लगता है कि शायद ये फ्रूटफुल हो।
Campaigning for the Himachal Pradesh Assembly elections will end tomorrow. Today, senior BJP leader and Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed 2 rallies each at Kangra and Hamirpur district. Meanwhile, Congress National President Mallikarjun Kharge addressed election rallies in Shimla and Nalagarh in Solan district. A report.
Senior BJP leader and Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the custom of changing governments has severely affected the development in Himachal and now the time has come to end the practice of swapping the governments. On the other hand, Congress National President Mallikarjun Kharge stated that BJP is only diverting the attention from the main issues of the people and avoid putting its report card in front of the public. While CPIM General Secretary Sitaram Yechuri also addressed the public meeting in Shimla today, he said that instead of tackling unemployment, the government is promoting privatization. Sanjeev Sundaryal, AIR News, Shimla.
As the last day of filing nominations to the Gujarat Assembly elections fast approaches, political parties have intensified the selection process of the candidates. Aam Aadmi Party Gujarat President Gopal Italia will contest the assembly polls from the Katargam seat in Surat, while the party General Secretary Manoj Saurathia has been fielded from the current seat in Surat. Meanwhile, the National President of BJP Yuva Morcha Tejasvi Surya addressed the first-time voters in Ahmedabad today. The 23rd tranche of electoral bonds opened for sale today. It will be open till the 15th of this month. State Bank of India has been authorized to issue and encash electoral bonds through its 29 authorized branches. The Ministry of Finance said electoral bonds can be purchased by any Indian citizen, either singly or jointly with other individuals. Only political parties which have secured at least 1% of the votes polled in the last general election or a legislative assembly shall be eligible to receive the electoral bonds. The London High Court allowed diamond merchant Nirav Modi's extradition to India. He had fled the country after an alleged financial fraud to the tune of 11,000 crore rupees against a government bank. Nirav Modi lost the appeal in the London High Court today. The verdict paves the way for his extradition to India. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
क्या आप प्रतियोगी परीक्षाओं की तैयारी कर रहे हैं? अभ्यास कार्यक्रम है सिर्फ आपके लिए। 9289094044 या फिर abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर आप अपने सवाल हम तक भेजें। आपके सवालों का जवाब हमारे एक्सपर्ट शनिवार रात 9:30 बजे देंगे। इस बार का विषय है अर्थशास्त्र और आपके सवाल हमें मिल जाने चाहिए बुधवार यानी कि 9 नवंबर तक। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
Welcome back to the news at 9. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has approved the final sovereign green bonds framework of India. Green bonds are financial instruments that generate proceeds for investment in environmentally sustainable and climate-suitable projects. This approval will further strengthen India's commitment towards its nationally determined contribution targets adopted under the Paris Agreement. It will help in attracting global and domestic investments in eligible green projects. The proceeds generated from issuance of such bonds will be deployed in public sector projects which help in reducing carbon intensity of the economy. The Finance Ministry said the framework comes close on the footsteps of India's commitments at the COP26 held in Glasgow last year. Justice Dhananjay Yashwant Chandrachud took oath as the new Chief Justice of India today. President Draupadi Murmu administered the oath of office to Justice Chandrachud as the 50th Chief Justice of India at Rashtrapati Bhavan. He succeeded Justice U. Lalit, who retired yesterday. Nepal's Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba has condoled the families of the deceased in the 6.3 magnitude earthquake that struck the country earlier today. At least 6 persons have been killed and 5 injured in the earthquake that struck Doti district. The epicenter of the earthquake was Dailek in Nepal, about 90 kilometers southeast of Pithoragarh in Uttarakhand. Expressing heartfelt condolences in a tweet, Mr. Deuba added that he has directed for the immediate treatment of the injured. Aftershocks were felt through the night. Strong tremors from the earthquake were also felt in Delhi. Aftershocks were recorded in other areas of the Indian subcontinent. Additional Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Rakesh Kumar Verma, said the G20 presidency will give India's tourism sector an unprecedented opportunity to highlight its potential. Mr. Kumar was addressing the media at the World Travel Market 2022 in London. He mentioned that tourism was hugely impacted due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Verma informed that in India, tourism is recovering well and domestic tourism is contributing significantly. India is participating in the World Travel Market 2022 in London, one of the largest international travel exhibitions. The theme of this year's exhibition is "The Future of Travel Starts Now." Housing and Urban Affairs Hardeep Singh Puri today virtually launched the Transport for All Challenge Stage 2 and Citizen Perception Survey 2022. The Transport for All Challenge is an initiative which aims at enhancing the mobility of citizens. The challenge focuses on encouraging innovators and city dwellers to develop localized digital solutions to improve public transport. The Stage 2 is open to startups for developing solutions to transport problems in 46 participating cities. The Citizen Perception Survey is launched under Ease of Living Index 2022 for 264 cities to capture citizens' feedback about their city. The survey will continue till the 23rd of December. In the ICC T20 Cricket World Cup, Pakistan entered the finals of the tournament by defeating New Zealand in the semi-finals played at Sydney today. Chasing a target of 152 runs, Pakistan scored the total in 19.1 overs at a loss of 3 wickets. For Pakistan, Mohammad Rizwan scored 57 runs, while skipper Babar Azam hit 53 runs. Winning the toss, New Zealand elected to bat and set a target of 152 runs for Pakistan. For Pakistan, Shaheen Afridi took 2 wickets while Mohammad Nawaz claimed 1 wicket. India will lock horns with England in Adelaide tomorrow in the second semi-final at 1:30 p.m. IST. The final will be played on Sunday in Melbourne. The centre has deputed a high-level multidisciplinary team to Mumbai to take stock of the upsurge in cases of measles in the city. The team will assist the state health authorities in instituting public health measures and facilitate operationalization of requisite control and containment measures. The team will also undertake field visits to investigate the outbreak. It will assist the state health departments in terms of public health measures, management guidelines and protocols to manage the increasing cases of measles being reported in Mumbai. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has said that the main aim of RTI is to empower citizens, bring transparency, rid the system of corruption and take democracy closer to the people. He said this at the inauguration of the 15th Annual Convention of the Central Information Commission in New Delhi today. Mr. Birla described the Right to Information Act as an important law to ensure transparency and accountability in governance. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Cabinet revises guidelines for uplinking and downlinking of television channels in India. Election Commission of India begins special summary revision of the voters list. Finance Ministry finalizes framework for green bonds to attract investment in environmentally sustainable and climate-suitable projects. Justice Dhananjay Yashwant Chandrachud takes oath as the new Chief Justice of India. And in cricket, in ICC T20 World Cup, Pakistan beat New Zealand to reach the finals. India to clash with England in the second semi-final tomorrow. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.